Hey, BR Tidwell 55 here. I'm responding to a comment that was made on one of my videos about where viruses come from. Uh, Glock Ninja, uh, I like you, and I'm sure you're a great guy and everything, but I think you're out to lunch on thinking that viruses come from antivirus companies. Mainly because I think the FCC would have already nailed them. They wouldn't have been in business this long if they were actually putting out malware in order to sell antivirus software. Doesn't pass the make sense test in my book. Uh, Begs the question, where do viruses come from? Well, a lot of viruses come from script kiddies out there trying to impress their friends with their quote elite skills unquote. A lot of malware comes in the form of Trojan horses designed to turn Windows machines into botnet drones in order to conduct distributed denial of service attacks against other networks, or as spam remailers. There's big business in that. The guys that write that stuff are tied to organized crime. But I think you already knew that because I think you alluded to it in your comment. Uh, Also, what's somewhat been somewhat widely reported is the connection of uh, malware to foreign intelligence services. Uh, Chinese army is reputed to be involved in such activities. Again, dangerous stuff, big business, a lot of dollars at stake. Uh, Another little debate that I want to address right quick is why don't Macintosh OS 10 machines and Linux machines, why don't they get viruses? Well, a couple of reasons. The most important of which is both of them have because they're both, actually OS 10 is a Unix operating system and Linux is Unix-like, have, excuse me, have a superior security model to Windows. With the Windows program, you write it, you compile it, you give it a .exe extension, and it runs. Not that way with Unix. A Unix binary has to have execute permissions deliberately given to it by someone with root or administrator access. Uh, the binary packages that you'll find in Linux software repositories, be they deb packages, be they RPM packages, whatever, if they need execute privileges, the package manager, when you go to install those programs, prompts you for an administrator password to install that stuff. Nothing's going to sneak by you on a Linux or a Unix system. Uh, of course, that's not to say that they can't get it. Uh, the very first rootkit that was ever found in the wild was written for a Unix system. So it can be done in theory. Very hard for them to do it. Which is another reason why I don't think the AV companies are writing it, because if the AV companies have enough resources and if they're in business to sell antivirus software, I would think that they would want to be able to sell antivirus software to OS 10 users, to Linux users. It would be, no matter how small the market share, it would be worth their while to do that, because that just means more copies of Norton or McAfee that they can get out the door. Uh, However, if a third party is doing it, the third party is going to go after the low-hanging fruit, and the low-hanging fruit is the Windows systems. So that's That's sort of the way I look at it. I'll make a prediction that eventually a virus will get into the wild, or some malware will get into the wild that will target and be successfully deployed on OS 10, or successfully deployed on Linux. I think it's only a matter of time before that happens. Uh, but of course, I could be wrong on that. I've been wrong on other stuff too. Anyway, that's my opinion. Thanks for watching.